Today, Saturday, we are rocking the 2025 Shed Knives Momentum in Dayglow, and I picked green because it matches my green monster. So, anyways, those two match fairly well, and that's today's blade. So, first things first, folks, let me know what you're carrying down in the comments. I haven't asked that question via video for quite a while now. So, I'm curious, what are you guys carrying? Now, we have some updates for you, or I have some updates for you, because I'm the only one here. Shed Knives officially is doing a drop with the first batch of in-house knives. In-house heat treat knives. Oh no, all the haters are gonna clip that and say, oh, see, I told you. Freak show. So anyways, the first batch of in-house heat-treated knives are about to come out. That's going to involve the Resilience, the Skewer, and the US Tonto. So your favorites will be coming back with the new heat treat, and it looks great. And now we're going to take a different shift into the video. Okay, these knives have a very dark look to them now. They have a darker finish, so it's going from this like gray look right there to almost like black, just like a really dark look there. So it doesn't change anything with the functionality. I actually think it makes it better. So my heat treat, I've said it before, I believe is the best heat treat available for my knives and for their purpose. So my knives are not made to open boxes. I mean, you can obviously open boxes, but they're not meant for your people who don't touch grass on a daily basis. They're not made for your Discord moderators stuck behind the keyboard. No, made for winners, made for people who go get things done. So yeah, I make hard use knives. So now, why is this video taking a turn? I saw the dark finish on the knives, and actually, I'm gonna go grab one. Let's go grab one. I'm gonna go on a little mission here. So I was messing around with these knives here, and when I first pulled this Resilience right there, you can see the dark finish on that compared to like the chrome right there, or that very shiny part. So anyways, I was looking at this finish and I was like, you know what, I think this symbolizes a path that I am on, and it's not necessarily a very bright and happy path. So let me tell you what I mean by that. I was looking at some videos of me from 2019, and I will do you a favor and not put them up. So I'll just say there's been a lot of personal improvement and growth and just accomplishment since then, and I hope that is the same for you. But why do I resemble, or why do I relate, that's the word I'm looking for, why do I relate to this kind of like dark finish here? Well, I believe Shed Knives is about to go on a path that is a bit dark, and it's a good path, I'll say that, it's a very good path. It's just not what most people pick, so that's why it's going to seem rather dark. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going into a season of work that literally nobody can match, and nobody, even like me, I couldn't match it up until now. And stupid chicken, I'm gonna kill that thing soon. So anyways, I was sitting at a campfire a few nights ago with my friend, and we were talking about just the change and improvement over the past few years, and I was talking to him and I was like, you know what, I feel like a snake where I am shedding my skin, shedding this old self, and I'm turning into this new being, essentially, so I can grow, I can be bigger, stronger, I can do more, I can shed some of the scars, that sort of thing. And I thought this is a fantastic resemblance of that, how even the style of the knife, the color of it is changing with this new process in-house. Now, sure, that you might just think, oh yeah, well Jack, you did a new process, so you have a different outcome. True, that is very true. You change something, you have a different outcome, and that's with everything. So what I'm going down I'm changing how I work, which is basically just, that's all I do. And that's all I have been doing, just I'll be doing it more. And I'm not saying this as a I will, I haven't done it yet, I will. No, I'm doing it now, and I'm just telling you guys, Lord willing, I'm going to continue doing that. So, why do I say it's a bit of a dark path though? It's because so much stuff is going to have to say no to. There's going to be a lot of sacrifice that's going to have to be made. And I was looking back and I was just kind of thinking, like, all the things I've already said no to, and it's a bit unsettling. Like, I missed every homecoming and prom in high school except one. And that was my first homecoming. That was before I went crazy business. But every other one I said no to. And that was so I could work harder. And that was just, I don't know, just thinking about that, it gets a little like, ugh, wow, Jack, you're serious about that. Or just like looking back at old texts with people. Hey, are you busy? Can we do this? Can we do that? Sorry. I remember one text specifically said, sorry, I have knives to get out. I have orders to get out tonight. And that's just like knife in the chest and twisted a little bit. That's, ugh. But I'm using that as fuel to continue doing this. And I have heard it before. Jack, that's unhealthy. Jack, you need to go do fun things. Jack, this is my fun. This is my fun. I find enjoyment milling on the CNC machine. I find enjoyment getting up at 4 a.m. when the ghosts are still awake. I find enjoyment being in a tin can. What do I mean by tin can? Listen to the wall. The wall is tin. I'm in a tin can. I'm in a big can. I'm making knives in a big Monster Energy can. I find fun in that. And just for anybody who wants to join me on this path, because Shed Knives is the path of winners, not losers. Losers are not allowed to be a part of this path. Losers who want to be winners, you guys can start following along, and then you got to be winners, that's for sure. But for anybody curious, like, kind of how I got to this point and why I'm doing this, well, number one, you have to shed the fun that you know, and it's going to require a completely just overall personality change. There are so many things now that, I mean, sure, I still have hobbies and things I like, but in a way, it's still work. Like, it's still work. I enjoy camping. Great. Well, I'm probably doing social media and photos and knife stuff, so it's still work. So you have to shed a lot of things that do not contribute to the path, or really to the destination you're trying to go to. It's like this. If I'm trying to get to, we'll just say Norway. I'm trying to get to Norway. Why in the world would I be off headed to the South Pole? Or why am I headed to the North Pole? Why am I going completely different directions than to my destination? Why am I headed to California and not Norway? So, nice analogy there. Basically what I'm trying to say is anything that is not associated with the destination, don't do it. Why are you doing it if it doesn't correlate with the destination, with where you're trying to go? And I've started shifting my mindset from a destination-based mindset to an action-based mindset, meaning maybe my goal is to do 30 knives a month. Maybe that's the number, 30 knives a month. And these are very like weekly, monthly, yearly goals. I need to be setting work goals, like daily work goals, which I am doing, 6 knives a day. And then I have my social media for the week. And so like I know how many that I'm doing, so it's on this paper right here. So with that said, it's like I should be doing this no matter the results. if I'm making $1 million per day, do this. If I am making $0 per day, do this. If I am about to die, do this. If I am rejuvenated and I'm 10 years younger, do this. Like, that's it. Do this until you can have somebody else, have an employee, have somebody else do this. And why have I picked these things? 6 knives a day on my social media. Well, folks, it just freaking works. It works pretty darn well. And this is through years and years and years of business mentorship. We call it the council. So when we meet, we go through things that work and things that don't work. And the things that don't work, we stop doing. And the things that do work, we continue doing, and we put more energy into that. And if you want to be a winner, you have to do that. You have to stop doing the things that don't work, and you have to start doing things more. You have to put more energy into the things that do work. So we have discovered that social media works for Shed Knives, and making 6 knives a day works for keeping a good inventory and for allowing knives to be sold without people waiting years and years for knives. Not that that's ever happened, however, you know what I'm trying to say. So why am I so serious about this? It's because I've discovered something that works through trial and error across many months, and now this works for now. 6 knives, there will be a time, I hope, down the road that 6 knives a day, I'm selling way more than 6 knives a day. It's 60, it's 600, it's 6,000, it's 60,000. So I want to be way past 6 knives a day. So then I will have to up the numbers. But for the time being, this works. And I have, for those of you who don't know, I am a true Christian. I truly believe in that. And I have been in deep, I mean like truly deep prayer for the past few weeks, verifying that this is the path I am supposed to be on. And why have I been verifying that, guys? Because it sucks. That's why. Telling so many people, nope, busy, nope, gotta do knives, sorry, I'll be there at 9, can't make it at 4 because I've got knives, that sort of thing. When that's like kind of all I do, it starts to eat at you a bit. So I just got to verify, hey, if this is what I'm gonna do, I gotta know this is for sure worth it. And I am being told, yes, this is the path. And my shop lease for this facility is 52 weeks, so 1 year, with the option of renewing it. And my goal, this was my goal before I even got here, was to spend 52 weeks or less in this facility before I moved to the next bigger one and better one. So we're currently on week 11, we're headed into week 12, and I believe by week 52, if I do this, that's the thing, if I do this, will be where I'm headed. If I don't do this, well, I'll be renewing the lease. So I gotta make sure I do the effort and I put in the work. And I encourage you guys to do the same, because if you don't want to do the work, then you get to have the consequences of that. Just like the guy or girl who drives their Ferrari through Beverly Hills every day, they get the consequences of their efforts and their actions as well. It's the same thing. You either do or you don't, and you get a result from every action and inaction. So I really am making this video more as a documentation. I don't care if 1 person watches it or 1 billion, don't really care. This is simply stating the journey, where I am today, and I also get to show off cool knives like the Momentum. So if you're still watching at this point, I will say, go to shedknives.com if you want to check this knife out. For inventory, I have 1 in Day-Glo, and then I also have 1 in, I believe, Arctic White. Personally, I like the Arctic White. I think it looks cool. So if you like knives, go check out shedknives.com. Like I said, winners buy Shed Knives. That's it. We're simply a community of people who get things done, who are folks of action, and there's truly nothing better than that. I think that's awesome, guys, because I see so many other knife companies that I would hate to be the CEO of that company, because the customers and the fans, the idiot fans, I would hate to be associated with them. It would be horrible. It'd be like, what? This crew is who I represent? Yuck. Let me say this about you guys. I am proud. I have genuine pride in being the leader of our movement, because I know you guys get stuff done too. You guys are men and women of action, and that's what I want. I do not want to be the leader of a bunch of losers, because that would end up turning me into a loser if I allowed it to. Because your community, people around you, you start to be like them. And if you deal with a bunch of people who just complain and don't do anything about it, it's one thing to complain, I'll say that. But if you don't do anything about the complaining, then it's pointless. You might as well just keep your mouth shut and get back to the belt sander and just keep getting knives done. Where if you're gonna do some action about what you're talking about, okay, great, speak all you want. So anyways, guys, this is just a little like, here's where we are today video, and yeah, that's really it, guys. So I love the new finish on the Resilience. I've actually mailed a few US Tontos as of yesterday with this new both finish and the heat treat, and they just look phenomenal, guys. They look amazing. And again, I believe this is more than just the finish. This is literally sort of like a resemblance of my personal transition into being a top-notch winner, somebody who gets stuff done on a daily basis and does not stop, no matter what. In my council, it's so funny. The guy, Dave, I've mentioned Dave before. It's like, I don't care if your right leg is falling off, you still do the work. It's like, you're right. Still do the work. And I encourage you guys to do that as well. So I'm gonna end the video there. If you like knives, you know what to do. Shedknives.com. Hit the like and the subscribe on the video if you like this stuff. Helps me keep the lights on, so that way I have a place to work. So if you support it, great. If you don't, go ahead and hit the X button in the top right corner of the video and move on. So anyways, guys, my name is Jack. I make knives, and I don't just make knives. I make knives for winners, people who are men and women of action. And that's why there is no substitute to Shed Knives. I don't care what anybody else says, that's the truth. So guys, with that said, make it a great day. Doesn't matter when you're watching this, make it a great day. Every day is a gift, and it's time to get to work.